topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
This is successful women, hearts unshaken, powers within them, rise up high, the world's gonna listen, dreams ignite, unstoppable vision, successful women.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America, and my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million plus women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success. Well, hello, and welcome to the Success for Women show, where you can view us on Talk for TV and listen to us on the Women for Women Network. I am Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, your host, and my mission is to help women accelerate the path to success. Well, today's topic, and I'm so excited to have our guest today. The topic is Tipsy Truth, and my guest is Miss Izabela Rose. Let me just share a little bit about her. From her early days as a Disney alum to now carving out her own lane in music, Isabella blends soulful honesty with retro pop music, and she's giving us a sneak peek into her brand new single, Tipsy Truth, dropping November 11th. I know I'm excited about it. A song that's all about being real, raw, and unapologetically yourself. She is known for her lead role in the 2020 Disney Channel original movie, Upside Down Magic. She was also chosen by Steven Spielberg to appear in the Apple TV anthology series, Amazing Stories. So get ready for an inspiring and fun and soulful conversation with the amazing Izabela Rose right here on the Successful Women Show. Welcome to our platform, Izabela Rose.
Hi, Madeline. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Wow, it is such a pleasure to have you here. I tell you what, I am excited to hear all about what's going on with you, about your new single. So tell me, many of our listeners, as I mentioned, remember you from your time with Disney. Can you share how that chapter in your life shaped who you are today, both as a person and as an artist?
Yeah, so I can confidently say that Disney, I think, is the best platform to start as a kid, the best child platform, just because of how much they invest into you as a brand. And I think especially going independent after Disney with my music, I really don't think I would have such a smooth journey if it wasn't for the things I learned with Disney. So I just, I will forever hold those people dear to my heart that taught me those lessons while I was there at Disney.
Absolutely. So making that transition from acting to music, I know it's probably not always an easy transition. So what inspired you to step fully into the world of pop soul and start creating your own sound?
I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of a ripple effect when it came to music. I did grow up with music. Like my grandpa, he was a background singer for the Temptations, the Shy Lights, and those great iconic groups back then. So
Mhm,
I grew up with my family being like, "We're gonna teach you the ones that walked so you could run." And so all those people, like, I guess, when the pandemic is really what kind of sparked that interest in music, is just I don't know, I think a lot of people are going through change, a lot of like challenging times through the pandemic, and the book was my safe haven. Like that's where I would go to just express myself when I didn't know how to. And I've never been good with words, so music is like that medicine for me. I rather say my complete thought in a song than
mhm,
say it out
mhm.
loud.
Wow. Now, I know that you've spoken on occasion about being proud of your roots and your individuality.
Mhm.
How has your cultural background or upbringing influenced your music and artistic vision?
I think I've been so blessed. It's so crazy because when I was younger, I used to look at it as such a curse because I felt like I was told a lot of times of like, what is, especially when I entered music, what is your sound? And I
Mhm,
grew up in a very diverse family. So, I mean, on my dad's side, it would be like reggaeton, bachata, and Romeo Santos was playing all the time. And then on my mom's side, it was like Soul for Real and and James Brown and all of them. So
mhm,
I had a very eclectic taste at a very young age. But as I've gotten older, I see how that was such a blessing because even with my music, I feel like I put little flares of things that I like that I've heard. And I think that's what you're supposed to do as an artist. You don't want to sound like anybody else. So I think I'm really creating my own sound from where I came from.
wow, that's incredible. And to go off, because I know we were talking earlier before we came on camera, and you talked about the fact that you're doing it independently. Tell us about that.
Mhm.
About the fact that you decided to, especially this new single that's coming out, Tipsy Truth. Talk to
Yeah.
us about that.
hmm Well, if anyone follows me on social media or checks out my social media, it's probably the top thing on there. All the videos are Tipsy Truth in the chorus, but
Mhm,
it's because I really am just so proud of how that song came out, especially because coming from where I came from in such a big powerhouse and deciding to take that leap of faith really in
mhm,
that to do something unexpected and something that probably not many people would have the confidence to do. I wanted to do it, and to see the reaction that Tipsy Truth is getting, even having like being on your show, this is such a blessing, and it's such an honor for me because this is coming all independently. It's me and my parents running this show. So I'm so grateful for the reactions that it's gotten, and supporters that are just as excited
mhm.
for Tipsy Truth as I am.
Wow, incredible. In an industry that can sometimes pressure young artists to fit into certain molds, how do you stay authentic and protect your creative voice?
That's a great question. I think it definitely, hmm, I I would say that it took me a while to get here. I was very much a people pleaser growing up, especially coming from acting. Validation is such a big thing.
Mhm,
And with music, it kind of gave me that control that I was longing for in acting
mhm,
because I was like, hey, I can make my own opportunities. And you can as well as in acting, but I'm just learning. I just learned that at the time that I got into music. And with music, I think it's just easier to make your own opportunities because of social media and how much leverage we have as artists.
mhm,
So I I I would just say like really through this year I got so into wanting to like being strict on what I want, what my sound, and that's why I'm so especially proud of Tipsy Truth, is because this is raw, this is authentic, this is me. I wrote this song, I came up with a beat, me and my dad
Mhm.
recorded in the studio, so it's just it's really vulnerable for me.
Wow. So, what advice would you give to maybe young women who are chasing their dreams, sort of like you did, but
Mhm.
struggling with self-doubt and or fear of failure? Because like you said, you went out on your own, sort of into being independent with this new single. And so there had to be a certain level of, ooh, okay, am I doing the right thing? So
Yeah.
what would you say to young women who are struggling with self-doubt and or fear of failure?
Mhm. Well, the unfortunate thing is that's a thing that everyone deals with, no matter
Yes.
what path you choose. But I think it is a blessing and a curse, because I think anyone with a creative mind, we have something embedded in us where we are just our biggest critics. And honestly, I don't think we would have the icons that we have today, like Beyonce, Michael Jackson, if they weren't so hard on themselves, because they always had this urge of reinventing themselves and wanting to become
Mhm.
better. But it's about
Yes.
taking that mindset and making sure you have a healthy relationship with it, because I definitely have that mindset. But I think, to keep a healthy relationship with it is just like doing things that you enjoy and that don't ask anything from you. So for me, it's like, for me, that's songwriting. For me, that's going out. I love nature. I've always been connected to nature. So going on a nature walk, those are so helpful. Just little things like that make such a big difference, especially when you're in a industry like this that changes so fast.
Ooh, wow. Now your sound blends retro pop and soul, which is two genres full of emotion and storytelling. How do you approach writing a song that connects deeply while still keeping that fun, modern edge to it?
Well, I think that's me. Like, that's like I have always been an old soul.
Okay.
And but I also have little elements where you can see my generation come out of me, and that just fun. Like, I'm a young teenager, and I think Tipsy Truth really embodied that feeling. And especially with, like, I even told my mom the other day when I was creating it, I was like, there's hints of 60s, like a 60 vibe, especially in the chorus of Tipsy Truth. It gives like that, I don't know, it just gives it takes me back to that time and some of the things that they did with their music. And I really, when I was recording in the studio, I wanted to keep that because that came authentic. And I was just like, I want to keep that, but I want to add a new sound to it. And by doing that, I thought of the pop. So I wanted to make it fuller. I wanted to make it almost that sad girl lyrics that you could also dance to and
Mhm,
and scream in the car with your friends and your
mhm,
girls.
mhm, mhm. Now I know that there was a process. I know you had the different things that you just mentioned, but I
Mhm.
know that you had a sort of, I would say, maybe a discipline process. Can you walk us through your creative process? Where do you find the inspiration? Is it from your personal experiences, observation, or is it just from your, imagination?
Honestly, that's such a trick question because every single song is different, and I think that's the special thing about it. Specifically with Tipsy Truth, a lot of the songs that I create, they come from a story of mine, and a personal experience. But with this, is actually was observing. It was from me observing my friends,
Mhm,
and during the time they had all kind of been going through where they wanted to text their ex, and we were all kind of, one of my friends were going through a situation like that where she wouldn't text her ex, and me, all my friends and I were like, don't text him, like, don't do it. It's a
mhm,
universal experience with girls and even boys too. And I thought when I went home, I think it was probably like 10 o'clock at night, and I was just like, it would be such a cool concept to write a song about someone wanting to talk to somebody so bad to the point where they're going to tipsy text them. And I don't drink. I'm 18, so I don't drink. So I was like, I thought it was really cool, and I love the name, and Tipsy Truth came to me, like it just came to me that night, and I thought it was so fun to play with, especially because of my age, and I thought it would be a captivating thing for audiences.
Mhm. It sounds, I've listened to it and it's very exciting. And for those of you out there that's viewing us and listening to us, uh, I know that you're on the edge of your seats and we are going to give you a sneak peek at it. So just be patient with us, but we are going to play a little bit of the clip for you. But before we do, I do have another question before we do play a little bit of the song for you. Who are some of your biggest musical influences and how have they shaped your artistry?
I would definitely say it goes from like Doris Day, Billie Holiday, Aretha Franklin.
Wow.
I'm such a jazz girly. I love like the blues, and I just love the things they did with their music. I feel like their music truly came from emotion.
Mhm.
Um a- and so I would say those are some of my biggest influences. A little newer, I would say Michael Jackson and Beyonce, just as entertainers. I think they hold themselves so amazing
Mhm.
as entertainers.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, as we all know, Tipsy Truth, it's coming out on November 11th. So let's give our viewers and listeners a little sneak peek of what they can expect.
Let's do it.
It's 2 a.m. and I'm wide awake, scrolling through the words I'll never say. I tell my friends that I've moved on, but they don't know I still play our song. I'm not holding a drink, but I feel that same spin, the kind that makes you wanna call him again. Tipsy Truth, I just wanna talk to you like a drunk girl typing out a risky text, hoping maybe we could reconnect. Tipsy Truth, I just wanna break the rules like a drunk girl, heart on display, saying things I never say in the I write a line, then I hit erase. Scared you'll laugh if you see my face, but my chest feels heavy. I can't pretend. I just want this distance to find its end. No, I'm not at a bar, but my guard's coming down. Feels like liquid courage without a sound. Tipsy Truth, I just wanna talk to you like a drunk girl typing out a risky text, hoping maybe we could reconnect. Tipsy Truth, I just wanna break the rules like a drunk girl, heart on display, saying things I never say in the day.
All right. I just love it, love it, love it.
Thank
It
you.
is beautiful. It really is. And I think it's such an inspiration to the young ladies out there. And so this is why I wanted Isabella Truth on the Successful Women Show, because as you know, I really love making sure that women can just get everything that they can to empower, inspire, motivate them. And I think this song is really, really doing just that. And just in talking to you, you are an inspiration yourself, as I said, to be going out on your own, independently producing this song, writing the song, and just jumping out there and taking that chance and doing it wonderfully, I might add. So it is great to have you on here sharing your nuggets with us. So tell us, let's talk about this single. I mean, the title alone is intriguing. So what's the story behind the song and what truth are you getting tipsy on?
Ooh, what is the truth that I'm getting tipsy on? Should I keep it a tipsy truth? Or should I spill it. Okay, so how I came about the song was I said a little bit in the beginning, but it was really a experience where me and my girls were just like talking. You usually have a therapy talk every single function, you know, and and one of my friends, she was just going through this situation, and all my friends and me, we were just like, stop, don't text him, don't do it, like, you don't need to go back to it. And I got home and I got really inspired by that whole experience. And I remember like coming up with the word Tipsy Truth. And I thought it would be really cool and a really fun way to talk about a song, trying to tell girls like don't do it, but also like, hey, you know, kind of a live in the moment type song. And I yeah, and then I remember my brother, actually, he plays the guitar, so he was playing some chords, and it was perfect for Tipsy Truth. I came up with the lyrics for, I think, with the chorus on spot. And me and my dad, we got into the studio, we recorded my brother's guitar, and we started recording in there. And the process, when it came out, I was just like, this is special. And I had never had a song where I listened to over and over. And with this song, I remember waking up the next morning and I made my bed to it. I ate breakfast to it. Like, that's how in love with the song I was. And so I was like, okay, if obviously I feel like this, someone else has to need this song as much as I did.
Wow. Incredible. Now, the song, again, as I mentioned earlier, the song mixes retro pop and soul with confessional lyrics. How did you strike that balance between vulnerability and making it fun? Because it's vulnerable, you know, the lyrics in it, but it's also a fun song. How did you strike that balance between the two?
Well, it was something I felt like I needed at the moment. Like, this song, I felt like a lot of people could relate to it, whether you're a girl or boy, whatever. I really did. I feel like this is such a universal experience. And especially like we didn't get to play it on here, but if you listen to the whole song, the bridge is one of my favorite parts, because it mentions like that whole roller coaster of like, maybe it is stupid, maybe it is dumb, but I just want to reconnect with this person, and tomorrow I'll deal with the consequences. And that's such a real relatable thing. So yeah, when the sound, again, I have a lot of influences. I always try to make my music reflecting of me. You know what I mean? And so again, I'm an old soul, but also have flavors of the new generation. So I think that it just kind of came together like that. But I'm really proud of the final product, and I hope people get to see the nuances of the 60s flair that I put in there.
Wow. And, you know, we, again, you know, not wanting you to give away anything too much, but is there, and you kind of, you know, tapped on it a little bit just now when you answered the last question, but is there a moment in Tipsy Truth that feels especially personal or meaningful to you?
Oh,
You know, you mentioned the bridge, but
yeah.
yeah.
There is. So this is kind of a personal story, but it's some tea. So I was, not too long ago, I went through a really bad situationship with somebody, and he was like the first guy that I ever liked, and you know, we had a great connection, and but also he was not good for my mental. My parents knew it, my friends knew it, and everyone was just telling me like, you need to step away from this boy. We get that you like him, but you need to. And I had that Tipsy Truth moment where I kept going. I think I went back to him like 3 times, 4 times, not my proudest moment. But and so, but you know, it came out to a great song, so it's a win-win situation.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I'm sure there are a lot of us out there that can relate to that. So thank you so much for sharing that. Now, as your artistry evolves, What do you hope listeners feel when they hear your music, especially young women who are now looking up to you?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question one more time?
As your artistry evolves, what do you hope your listeners feel when they hear your music, especially the young women who look up to you?
Mm. I hope they feel free. I hope I'm like that voice for the girls, for the people that feel everything at once. Because I feel like I'm like that, and I felt so unseen.
Mm,
Um, at a time when I was younger, because I had a mature mind. I've always, especially growing up in this industry at such a young age, I was around adults most majority of the time, more than I was
mhm,
around people my age.
mhm,
So, but there was also this wanting to be accepted by my peers, and I felt like I had to almost change myself to like be accepted. and
mhm,
um and I was just going through other things too, with like insecurities of just, personally, and insecurities that just, you also get growing up in the industry, and feeling behind. And so a lot of the music that especially Tipsy Truth, it's almost like a Tipsy Truth for me is like the introduction of a new era for me,
mm,
because all the music that I wrote in after, like, there's this one song that I actually teased on my Instagram. It's called It Is What It Is. And that song was inspired by me getting so much rejection that I just
mhm.
felt like, honestly, everything is going bad. It is what it is. And
Wow.
I think that's again, it's such, I keep on saying this word, but it's such a universal experience. And so I hope that anyone that listens to my music, I can almost be their safe haven artist.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that is yeah, I can see that because again, when you listen to the song and just looking at the fact from what you've done, the things that you've done, the acting and then the singing and putting the lyrics together in that song, I can see that. So tell us outside of your music, how do you take care of your mental and emotional well-being in such a fast-paced industry?
I have to give it to the girls in my family. They help me so much. Like, I just feel like we need to be like a lot of even the women in this industry. Like,
Mhm.
there's this amazing lady. Her name is Suzanne Farewell, and she's the one that actually inspired me to become a producer, to want to become a producer, and introduced me to shadow producing. And on my most recent film with Disney, I actually got uh, the honor to be able to do that. But they just, I don't know. I
Mhm.
just feel like as women, we need to be there for each other, and especially if you see another girl that works in your workforce, I think it's
Mhm.
so important to create a unit with her, and I don't see that as much. I feel like my generation lacks
Mhm.
that. We
Mm.
almost see women, and I don't think it's a new thing at all, because I talk to my mommy about this all the time. We almost see other girls as competition, and that's not
Yes.
the case
Yes.
at all. Like, we are in the same battle. We're in the same boat. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
so it's so important to just acknowledge the women around you, and let them know that you're going, share with each other, help each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, you've already accomplished so much, as I mentioned earlier, at such a young age. What's one lesson the entertainment industry has taught you that you carry for life?
Mm. Ooh. I would say, okay, so I would say taking there's a bunch of rejection you face in this industry, and I think this goes with every workforce that you're in. Bunch
Mhm.
of rejection, but taking that no and turning it into a yes, because every room that you go into, you are going to plant a seed.
Yes.
And I think that's the biggest lesson that I've learned from this industry, and also personally, is don't compare yourself to other people. It's not a game you want to get into. um and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I think it's
Mhm.
really, really real. My third one would be different levels, different devils, because
Mhm.
the higher you get up, you like, I definitely get certain people where they're like, you get in a bigger position and more problems come. And so I just think it's so important to enjoy the whole process, because you learn so much through everything. And you have to, and I think when I was younger, I wanted so badly to be like, I had goals and expectations on myself to the point where I literally cried on my 16th birthday. I'd never cried on a birthday. And it was because I felt like I didn't reach that goal. And as I've gotten older, I've just really try to give myself a little more grace and be like, just enjoy this moment right now, because I'll never be this version of myself again, and I won't ever, like, you know what I mean.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's what I would say.
Absolutely. And yeah, I can understand that because you have to, again, you have to remember that the industry itself. So you would the lessons that you learn, they're either going to make you or break you. And so, but hopefully, you want the things that you learn to help you to grow. And so that seems to be what has happened with you. The lessons
Yes,
you've
if you
learned.
love what you do, no one. Exactly. If you
Yeah,
love what you do, don't let nobody tell you you can't do it.
exactly. So my words exactly. Okay. So again, you've worn a lot of hats: actress, singer, performer, and now songwriter. Which one of those roles has taught you the most about who Izabela Rose truly is?
Songwriting. Songwriting for sure. I was gonna say acting, but I portray somebody else. So,
Yeah, yeah.
um, but yeah, I feel like it would be songwriting. I get to see I get to see my holes. I think that's a really good thing, and the things that I need to work on. So yeah, I feel like it's almost like journaling for me. I think anyone that wants to get into songwriting, to look at it as journaling, because
Mhm,
it don't put it on a pedestal. It's literally the same as journaling.
mhm, mhm. Well, nah, yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put it on the same pedestal as journaling, because that would be a whole different thing. Even though you would probably put personal stuff in there, but I
Hmm.
think the songwriting would definitely be a little different as to when you're looking at lyrics as opposed to what you're journaling. I know probably with the journaling you might get a little more personal than you might with the song, even though it might have some personal aspects in it. So,
I agree with you. When I say songwriting looking as journaling, I think we put, especially the beginners, we put it on such a, because I was like this, we put it on such a high pedestal of like, oh, we need to be, Shakespeare to write a good song.
mhm,
And simpler is better. And that's why I compare it to journaling, because when you're journaling, you're writing it for yourself. You're not writing it in like, oh, I hope this relates with somebody,
mhm,
or I hope I'm writing this politically correct, and so I
exactly.
think that's why I compared it to journaling, is because when you get those authentic raw lyrics,
Mhm,
those mean so much more than the complicated whatever thing you come up with,
right.
and I so I that's what I kind of have broke it down in my head to make the process a little less complicated for me.
There you go. There you go. So tell us, what's next for Isabella Rose? I mean, any exciting projects, collaborations, or dreams on the horizon that you can share with us right now?
Well, you know the industry, everything's hush hush, so I
Yeah,
can't say
I
too
know.
much, but you can definitely. Tipsy Truth will be available to stream on all main platforms November 11th. So please stream it 5 times like I streamed it a bunch of times. And you can also pre-save it right now. And I also do have some really exciting projects in the works with a movie. So stay tuned for that.
Well, good. We'll be looking forward to seeing you. And I tell you what, it has been such a pleasure to have you join us on the show to share your journey with us. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And again, just to all the viewers and the listeners, and we are going to play the song all the way through and toward the end. So never fear about that. But I just, again, want to thank you and let everyone know that her single, Tipsy Truth, will be coming out November 11th. So make sure that you grab a copy of it, and also be looking forward to seeing her in the secret movie she won't tell us about, but that's okay. We'll be looking for you anyway. Again, thank you so much for coming on the show, and it has been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much for having me, Madeline, and thank you to the viewers.
Take care.
Bye, y'all.
All righty. Wow. So I hope that you all enjoyed this segment of the show with Isabella. It was a pleasure. I tell you what, having her on here, as I said, her single, Tipsy Truth, will be out November 11th. So make sure that you grab a copy of it. And it was just an incredible conversation with a beautiful and talented individual, Izabela Rose. Her story reminds us that success isn't about perfection. It's about passion, purpose, and staying true to who you are. So be sure to stream her upcoming single, Tipsy Truth, when it drops on November 11th. It's soulful, it's honest, and it's a vibe you don't want to miss. And to all our listeners, keep chasing your dreams and owning your truth. I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, and this has been another empowering episode of Successful Women Radio and TV show, where we celebrate women who lead, inspire, and rise. Again, make sure, as I said, to be sure to stream Izabela Rose's upcoming single, Tipsy Truth, when it drops on November 11th. I want to make sure to thank my viewers and my listeners who joined us today. And of course, you can always go back and listen to the replay, which I hope you do, because this was a great, we had a great time listening to her today. I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis. This is the Successful Women Show. Again, I want to thank Izabela Rose for joining us. I want to thank my viewers and my listeners for being here today. And of course, if you want to reach out to me, you can email me at info@exwsi.com or go to my website, www.exwsi.com. This has been the Successful Women Show. We're here every week. I'm your host, Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, helping women to accelerate the path to success. Thank you again to my guest, Miss Izabela Rose. Thank you all the viewers and listeners for joining me. And you know, I love you all to life. And as always, you be well and stay safe out there.
This is success. Successful women. Hearts unshaken. Powers within them. Rise up high. The world's gonna listen. Dreams ignite. Unstoppable vision. Oh, successful women.
Maybe it's stupid, maybe it's brave, but I don't wanna let this fade. Tomorrow I wish I just stayed cool. Tonight I'm breaking every rule. Tipsy Truth, I just wanna talk to you like a drunk girl typing out a risky text, hoping maybe we could reconnect. Tipsy Truth, I just wanna break the rules.